He pointed to the cops, said, "Get him." And they roughed me up just for asking him a question. Do you think any of your property, any of your children, any of you, anything's safe when we don't all have liberties? This is precious stuff. And those of you that laugh at people that are for freedom, you're about to find out how precious freedom is, because you don't know what you got till it's gone, the cliche says. The equation is simple. The absence or suppression of civil liberties leads necessarily to the suspension of media freedom. Dictatorships fear and ban information, especially when it may undermine them, it said. And that's the Daily Mail right there. This is not a game. It's not a drill. It's not a joke. A bunch of crooks took our government over, robbed the Treasury. They know we're waking up, and they're telling the police and military, prepare for war against those of us that know criminals took over. It's very elementary. Here's another one. DNA samples to be taken from students before SAT college exams. This is all part of No Child Left Behind. This is what federalized education is about. We'll cover after the break. Currently, students are being required to show normal photo IDs before being admitted to SAT or ACT test rooms. But IDs can relatively be forged easily, say many, which means that an imposter could easily slip in and take the test for someone else. On the other hand, requiring students to submit to forensic image analysis, digital photo for the data bank folks to buy and sell, in order to digitally encode their identity may be going way overboard, as it represents a huge step towards authoritarian encroachment in the lives of individuals. That's a guest writer, Jonathan Benson. Maybe going way overboard. It's federal education screwed everything up on purpose. Continuing here, Natural News reports, Oklahoma lawmaker wants to stop Pepsi from using aborted fetuses cells in soda flavoring research. This is out of Natural News. And it is confirmed Pepsi has a division that is involved in using fetal parts. But what I can confirm is that it's in most of the vaccines. That's 100% confirmed. There is a potential that there are companies that are using aborted human babies in their research and development of basically enhancing flavor for artificial flavors, said the representative. He's quoted as saying by KRMG News Talk Radio. What I'm saying is that it does happen, then we are not going to allow it to be manufactured here. I know that there are fetal tissues in a lot of the medical treatments, in the vaccines, and they are in a lot of the cosmetics. That's confirmed. We know Pepsi's involved with companies that do use the fetal parts, and we do know that it's been tested in flavor enhancement. Nothing more delicious than eating your own dead, according to the globalist, teaching us to basically be cannibals. But regardless, this is happening. As they say, Soylent Green is made out of people, as Marcos points out. Okay, continuing. Polish websites to go dark to protest ACTA, the anti-counterfeiting trade agreement that is being rammed through in Poland. And again, Obama has already signed an international treaty basically saying they're going to attempt this. But announcing you have the power to carry out tyrannical actions is one thing. Implementing it is another, and we're going to be fighting them at every stage of that. Continuing, Australian Prime Minister dragged to safety through a crowd of Aboriginal protesters after being ambushed in a restaurant. And it just shows how none of these globalists and none of these people are immune to the public's outrage. And I don't know how they think a bunch of drones and how they think a bunch of checkpoints is going to protect them from what they've been doing. Anybody can be gotten at. I can, anybody can. That's why the globalist controllers always try to put out Obama or Merkel or Barroso or people like that as the supposed bosses. These leaders run nothing. It's the bankers at the highest levels, the globalists, the people at Davos. They're the criminals setting up this nightmare system. So everybody should be fully conscious of that. Now, to give you an Eric Blair, pen name George Orwell quote as we go to break, if you want to keep a secret, you must also hide it from yourself, George Orwell. And that's in a scene in the book when Winston knows that even when he's asleep, the television set that has a two-way camera, as new TVs all do, is actually watching and tracking him. So he says, if you want to keep a secret, you must also hide it from yourself. No, the answer is the globalists are all in, bum rushing us with tyranny. We've got to all in, go head up against them, and stop having fear and realize the only hope we've got is to resist these tyrants. Okay, we're going to go to break here in a moment. I've got a big video report coming out tomorrow that Aaron Dykes and I shot today, and he's busy putting all the documentation together. But it just illustrates what confirmed, absolute, complete liars the TSA are. And we can get a document cam shot on this as we go to break and come back with our filmmaker guest in studio who's waiting. This is out of the Tennessean. Nashville airport video doesn't show irate Senator Rand Paul. You can go to this site and watch the video. He was totally calm. He was held for an hour and 40-plus minutes, as he said, close to 2 hours. But when the police came, they put out a press release that A, he wasn't detained lying, part of this deception system, and B, that he was irate to make it look like he deserved it, part of this total culture of lies. But what other lies have there been? Well, the TSA told us they weren't groping old ladies in the last few months and taking them in closed-door areas and stripping them. Now, they admit they were. But the old ladies have come out and said, well, that's actually a lie, too, what they're saying. They're whitewashing it. They said they weren't storing the images of our naked bodies. That turned out to be a lie. And we're going to do a big report showing all this. They said they weren't groping small children under 12. Then when they got caught doing it on video, taking diapers off babies, sticking their hands down little girls' pants, men doing it, bad enough to have same sex doing it. They lied about that and got caught and said, well, we're going to stop, but then didn't stop. Then they got lied about the statistics of the radiation and quoted Johns Hopkins and others who actually said it was killing people. They said, oh, Johns Hopkins says it's safe. They got caught lying about their crime statistics of how many of them get busted for pedophilia, child porn, raping women in the airport parking garages in uniform, stealing out of people's bags. I mean, who's normal and wants a job ripping colostomy bags off old ladies and making people that are dying of cancer get out of wheelchairs that can't walk and making folks pick them up and stealing money out of bags? I mean, it's just a bunch of degenerate scum who get off on it. I mean, what do you expect? It's their brown shirts who are now on the highways of America, as we told you. So that's just some of the lies, and that's going to be coming up in a special report. We're going to go to break here and come back with our in-studio guest. It's INFOWARS Nightly News. If you believe in this type of hardcore, fearless, in-the-face-of-tyranny media, become subscribers at PrisonPlanet.tv. We're running that 15-day free trial right now where 9 years of hardcore resistance to tyranny is archived. All my films, expanded extras, you name it, all at PrisonPlanet.tv. We'll be right back.
America is in trouble.
Washington is a disgrace.
Government has become too big. It's overtaxing, overspending.
We need to change direction.
We really need change.
We can't afford to make the same mistakes we've made in the past.
Mitt Romney's reputation as a flip-flopper.
He went the other way when he got paid to go the other way.
There is need for economic stimulus.
It's about serial hypocrisy.
This election is about trust.
There's been one true, consistent candidate, and that's Dr. Ron Paul.
Ron Paul has been so consistent from the very beginning.
He seems like a more honest candidate.
He tells the truth about what he believes, whether you like it or not.
He's never once voted for a tax increase, never once voted for an unbalanced budget.
Ron Paul's plan is bold, cuts 5 departments. It's what we need.
When he says he's going to cut $1 trillion in the first year, I believe it.
If you don't like how things are going and you're tired of politicians, he's something different.
Ron Paul.
Ron Paul.
Ron Paul.
Ron Paul
is the one we've been looking for.
I'm Ron Paul, and I approve this message.
If you believe in this information and want to support its viral spread, go to the INFOWARS store at INFOWARS.com. We've got the new G.I. Joe INFOWARS t-shirts. We've got the incredible Pro Pure gravity-fed filters available at INFOWARS.com in the store. We've got a new DVD, Scientists Under Attack, the Don't Tread on Me flag. We've got all sorts of different bumper stickers to help spread the rebellion virally. It's all there, wristbands, citizen rule books in every order. Order online at INFOWARS.com today. The water filters, the canteens, it's all there. INFOWARS.com. Welcome back to this 26th edition of INFOWARS Nightly News on this Thursday. We've got an amazing in-studio guest, one of the producers and directors of Indoctrination, Public Schools and the Decline of Christianity in America, Colin Gunn. And we also carry and sell the video in the online video bookstore at INFOWARS.com. But whether you're a Christian or not, and it's from that perspective, no one can deny that education has declined in the United States and our test scores have dropped, and now the president is giving State of the Unions at an 8th grade level, but that's in 2012 numbers. It's really at about a 5th or 6th grade level in 1950s numbers. And that basic values of don't kill, don't steal, don't cheat. I saw another big study just today where in England and the U.S., people think it's okay to steal, to cheat. They don't understand that that makes society break down and fall apart. And it has been our Christian values in the West, not saying the West has been perfect, that has made the West so wealthy and successful. And now that those values are going out the door and there's no standards, we are literally going to hell in a handbasket. And this is just an excellent film, very well done. The interviews are amazing. And I'm just excited that this film is out there because it's a wonderful tool for anybody who has children in a government training camp, a public school, for homeschoolers, for Christians, non-Christians. Indoctrination is something that everybody needs to see. Colin, thank you so much for coming to the studio.
Thanks for having me on your show. It's an honor.
We just came out of break with the trailer for Indoctrination, and we've got a few clips here that you're going to be announcing throughout the interview. But you've got the floor. I mean, tell us about yourself, what made you, decide to make this film, and give folks a synopsis of Indoctrination.
Well, my desire was to make a film that directly communicated my concerns about public education in America. I'm Scottish, but I live in America, and I love America, and I see all these problems coming from one place, the public schools. You know, we talk to people about pro-life issues or the Federal Reserve or all the things that you see on your show. You find that it's not met. It's usually met with ignorance. People don't know the truth. And one of the main things I want to say in our film is that the public schools have been incredibly successful. We think of them as a failure, but they're actually a success, because if you look at the history of public schooling, there's been an agenda there for years. Back in the 1800s, they were established with a particular view in mind, and that was to change America. And we're looking at an end game after 200 years of this change in America, and it's all been for the worse. So my desire was to make a film, take my 7 kids, I now have 8, but I took my 7 kids, my wife, and a big yellow